there is one member of the family that likes pizza crust even more than the humans. That would be Morrie T. Dog. Would you like a little bit of pizza? Okay, you can't have tomato sauce. It's not good for you. Actually, none of this is good for you. But that's a little bit of crust and a little bit of cheese.
We are episode 6.
Yeah, already. Hi, how time flies when you're having fun.
At least, yeah, some of it is fun.
Well, the packing is moving along as it should, and we picked up the rig a little while ago, and we should have recorded that whole thing, but honestly, I was just so focused on making sure that I remembered how to pull a trailer and do all that stuff that I didn't even think about turning the phone on to capture all of that. So you'll have to trust us that it went well. But anyway, we got the rig home and we needed to use the truck, so we unhooked the trailer and had the rig parked in our back alley, and
some neighbor, someone who isn't a neighbor, decided to take it upon himself to go look for bylaw infractions.
yeah.
He deliberately was looking for it, and Steve watched the whole thing.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a ticket, so we had to take the rig out to an RV storage place, which is where it is right now. But that being said, we are going to take a few moments to take you on a little tour of the rig. Well, when I say we, I mean you.
Me.
Yeah.
Someone had to hold the camera.
That's right. And that was me. And I'm not the camera person. Oh, hello, Morrie.
I have done selfie things, and when we were hooking up the rig after the ticket, it was snowing, and we have a lot of pictures of either the sky or my chest.
Yeah. This episode and next will be the last two that I do with cooking in our kitchen at home before we get on the road. So today I'm going to treat you to one of our favorites, which is deep dish pizza that I make in a cast iron pan. And this will be one of those recipes that we take with us on the road, and probably more often than we actually need. And spring has sprung, the grass is riz. I wonder where my chinny is. Yeah, this will probably be off by the time we get out on the road. Surprise, surprise. It's really getting very Santa-ish, so.
But the crocuses are up.
The crocuses are up. I have to remember to see if I can get a picture of that before we get going. So you ready for the tour?
Yep.
Let's go. Is this your new house? It is your new house? Checking it out.
So this is our new to us. It's a Platinum 2016 Glacier Peak CIS 26. It's 30 feet 2 inches. So from, I guess, the bedroom door to the end they figure is about 26 feet. The previous owners didn't use it much. Everything is super clean. It's like it just came off the showroom floor. So we have, I forget what they call this, but it's a U-shaped dinette, and where Morrie's hind legs are is a hassock, And so there's storage in there. And it does pull out so that we can have just your regular type of dinette. It also goes into a bed. We have the 2 recliners, and they're pretty cool. Very comfortable, not worn at all. And we don't have a lot of storage, but what we have we can make use of. Keeps us humble. So this is about 10 inches deep length. So these cabinets are about 11 and a half inches deep. So, but we have already put our food storage these go 2 deep. So that's cool. Put the lesser used ones like the fruit and that in the back. This is the pantry. As you can see, Mother Hubbard's cupboard is bare. But you can see that we can put tall things. We did get an ice maker. Steve says that's a necessity. It's a double slide, so we do have a fair amount of room. I've noticed in the outdoors, the new floor plans, they don't have islands anymore. But which makes this space bigger, but this is good. We don't mind. We have storage under here, which I've put the necessities of life, chocolate, and a couple empty containers that probably won't stay empty. We have a microwave that is just a microwave, it's not a convection. We have 2 drawers here, a couple of little, these ones are actually quite deep. So they'll hold some. And we put our fire blanket in here, so it's accessible in case of fire. We just grab it. Got a mouse in the house.
Not a real mouse. Let's be clear, let's show the mouse. It's a wood-turned mouse.
Steve turned these mice, and we have plenty of them around the house. And 3-burner stove, the grill. Nobody has a hand towel. And Steve's, what is this called?
It's my bread oven.
The bread oven does fit into the oven, and it is a gas oven, as you can see, because it has this. So, lots of bread in our future. This is the garbage bin. So you pull it out there, you throw the stuff in there. Might put in a taller garbage bin if we can get it in and out easily. But with the solid surface counter, you do have more counter space. And it's unfortunately is a double sink, but life is not a bowl of cherries. You get. And we have storage. We have a shelf under our sink, which is really cool. We put the sous vide bins there. We do have a fridge. It's a 2-way gas and electric. And it, keeps us not able to overstuff it. Ooh, we can put another shelf in. I think it's a 12 cubic foot. I think for 2 people that is fine. That way we don't get things hidden in the back. A lot of outdoors RVs have a knife rack, but ours doesn't. So the one that Steve made is going to be able to be stuck to the counter over there. A drawer under there, we have our manual grinder and probably the other one. We have a fireplace. as you can tell, it probably has never been used. Hopefully they do. Yeah, they'll come off nicely. Our controls are right here. As soon as you enter the door, they're right there. Nice fancy door. Can't really see, but they're controlled. But this unit and most outdoors RVs, as far as I know, have a remote. So it's right inside the door, so it's accessible. And up into the bedroom. That's my clothing, and probably half of it will be going back into storage. 2 closets. And so they do have a hanging rack in there too, but you can always put shelves in if you need more. And a shelf above. We don't have the nightstands, but we have it above in 2 sconces. We have all above there is not open because we have the solar controller there. And we have a a fan here and a skylight there. We do have our own bedding. I'm not going to use that scratchy polyester stuff. And we will hopefully be able to put a house mattress in there. And this is open, and we already have our food, our grains under here. And that's the dehydrator.
Yep.
And that is the proofer.
Yep.
And the proofer can also be used as a slow cooker.
And to make yogurt.
And the yogurt. Yeah. So that'll take down 2 appliances. It has a teeny weeny itsy bitsy television that I'm sure I'm going to crack my head on. But it does have a DVD player. Our closets. We already have a dog.
We have now 2.
Yeah. This dog, however, is not going past Prince George.
Right.
My grandnephew is going to have a burner.
Right.
In the shower, I know some people don't like these. I think they're kind of cool. There, already got some scrubby and skylight, so Steve doesn't feel cramped. And it is kind of deep, so you could soak your feet if you have to. After those long hikes, wearing improper shoes. So shelves. I did put one of these up, but it doesn't really work. But got our towels. I think I mixed up what's staying and what isn't. And 3 drawers. Cabinet. Medicine cabinet, which will actually probably hold our medicine. And under the sink has a shelf, so we put Steve's razor cleaner and the iron on the bottom, and Morrie towels there, because if the sink leaks, they're Morrie towels. 2 hooks, and no, that stuff's not going to stay there. It has a toilet paper holder. A lot of times you don't see them in here. It has a fan too. Fantastic vent. We have a French door. But actually a garden door. Door with a glass into our bedroom. Which is kind of weird, but it brings in more light if you need it. I can sleep anywhere. Steve needs it dark.
You're very confused, aren't you? Yes, travels with Morrie.
Yes. See, you have lots of windows to look out of. Lots of windows. There. Snack bin. Yeah. Oh. Whoa! These are really kind of cool. So when I tick Steve off so much, I'll just sleep out here.
There you go.
the doghouse isn't just for men. So, final thoughts on this is, now that I've spent about an hour putting things away and trying to sort things out, I think we're going to have enough room. So I'm going to be able to craft, and Steve's able to cook and do his computer stuff, and Morrie can look out the windows and protect us. I think it's going to be a good adventure as we travel with the Morrie dog.
Hey, buddy. Are you ready to start traveling?
So we're going to be doing deep dish pizza today in a cast iron pan. Okay, for this deep dish pizza, I am using my own pizza dough recipe. There are a gazillion pizza dough recipes out there. Use your favorite. If you've already got one you like, it's fine. This one makes enough for one 10-inch deep dish pizza. You could spread this out into a 12-inch cast iron pan, a little bit thinner crust. Some people prefer that. We like our crust a little bit thicker, so this one is fine. For this recipe, we will need 300 grams of strong bread flour, 17 grams of sugar, 4 grams of kosher salt, 1 teaspoon of fast-rising or bread machine yeast, 18 grams of avocado oil, 200 grams of warm water. We want the temperature of this somewhere between 75 and 85 degrees. The wet ingredients are going to go into a mixing bowl. The dry ingredients will be added to that. We will mix until the flour and water are combined. This is about a 66-67% hydration dough, so not a real high hydration, but it still has some nice spring to it because of the amount of water. We're going to put 3 tablespoons of oil in your cast iron pan. Now, it doesn't really matter which kind of oil you use. You will have, different flavors depending on what you use, but it will matter for your oven temperature because whatever oil that we use, we want to keep the oven temperature below the smoke point of that particular oil. We'll just swirl that oil around a little bit in the bottom of the pan. In this case, I'm using avocado oil. I had it out. It was already in the dough. I'm going to put the dough in here and flip it once so that it has oil around it. Now this gets covered and put into a warm place to rise for 90 minutes to 2 hours. The oven is not turned on, but it is warm. I will just leave it in here for a couple hours. Of course, for pizza toppings, use whatever you have, whatever you want. In this case, I was kind of craving a barbecue chicken deep dish pizza. So I've baked 3 chicken thighs. I like the dark meat. I've taken the skins off. I'll be cutting all the meat off of this and putting it aside. And then I'm going to caramelize some red onion to go with that. And then, of course, we'll top that with some mozzarella cheese. For the sauce, I'll be using a combination of pasta sauce as well as some barbecue sauce. And I'm going to be using some dehydrated pasta sauce, so I'll be adding 1 cup of boiling water to this and letting it reconstitute for about 15 minutes. I could have used some dehydrated onion in this as well, but I did have a red onion on hand that I wanted to get used, so we will be using fresh onion for that today. Okay, while the dough is finishing its rise, I'm going to mix the chicken from earlier with some barbecue sauce. Your favorite barbecue sauce. Or your wife's favorite barbecue sauce. I like things a little bit spicier. Libby does not. So we're going to be using something that she likes. This was probably about a quarter cup, roughly. We have our sauce. This is the reconstituted spaghetti sauce, pasta sauce, whatever you want to use it for. So this was dehydrated. 1 cup of boiling water on this and reconstituted. It's nice. It comes back exactly like it was. Okay, our dough has risen. It's about double in bulk. We're just going to use fingertips to press it out. And that oil that is bubbling up underneath there, that is important to this whole process. I'm trying to make sure that I have some kind of a rim to hold the toppings. We've done this with a variety of toppings. Haven't done it with this one before, but I've made this pizza before. Barbecue chicken. It really just depends on what I'm looking for. So this is going to be a nice thick crust. The sauce that's going on that is just a pasta sauce. As I showed earlier, it was a dehydrated sauce, or dehydrated, and then I've reconstituted it. And I'm going to end up with more than I'm actually going to need here. Yeah, I don't want to be eating this and having it squirt all over the place. You take a bite and you end up with sauce all over everywhere. All right, that's good. This is the chicken. This is just pure chicken thighs. I didn't do anything else. I like the dark meat. I find it's got a lot of flavor. So this was 3 chicken thighs, and we're going to load this up. And all I've done is just taken this is a mild barbecue sauce because that's what Libby prefers. Make sure that every bite has got some nice chicken in it. And to that, I'm going to add some caramelized red onion. If I could stop dropping it between the 2 pans. And of course, the biggest controversy about pizza, cheese on top, cheese underneath the toppings. And what do I have to say about that? You do you. Now, the one thing I do want to make sure is that I get some of the cheese right up against the side of the pan here. That's going to melt and give us that really nice cheesy crust. Okay. And the whole pan is going into a preheated 450 degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, this is not quite done on the top, but I am going to check the bottom. The bottom crust is looking pretty good. So what I like about this particular method is that if the bottom is done and the top isn't, just toss it underneath the broiler for a minute or two. If on the other hand, you're finding that the top is completely done and the bottom still needs a little bit of cooking, you can actually finish this off on the stovetop. So we're just going to put this on broil for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, just to finish browning up the cheese, and we're ready to go. Couple of minutes under the broiler just to finish toasting that up on top. I'm using a fish slice just because it's a really thin spatula. Just want to make sure that I get the cheese unloosened from around the side. And there we go, one deep dish. Lovely barbecue chicken with some caramelized onions. Pizza. I just dragged you in here for another taste test. Seems that's all I do is drag you in here for taste test. Barbecue chicken.
Oh my goodness, that's good.
Are you surprised?
I was thinking butter chicken, but no.
Oh, barbecue chicken. And caramelized onions. And dehydrated pasta sauce. And my crust recipe.
Home run.
Well, that kind of just kicks you right in the face, doesn't it? Well, there you go. Our suspicion is that that cast iron pan that I made this in will actually fit in our oven if we kind of turn it on an angle to get it in there. It's longer than the stove is deep, but there is enough room, I'm pretty sure, that I can turn it onto an edge. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably have to buy a
I guess we'll have to buy another cast iron pan.
little smaller one, or we can get one of those outdoor ovens.
Oh yeah.
Outdoor ovens.
Well, I have one of those solar ones that are looks like tin foil.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to cook this pizza.
I don't.
Anyway, that's another episode of Let's Get Cooking. So that pizza, oh my goodness. I love my deep dish pizza. I think it is a fabulous recipe. Happy to be able to share that crust with you. And again, any toppings that you could possibly want, just do it. I mean, we've made some pretty crazy ones with that.
Yeah, it was really good.
And thanks for the tour.
You're welcome. It was kind of on the spur of the moment, so I didn't have all the stats available.
Well,
So, you know,
for people that really like stats, they'll look them up anyway.
yeah.
But you get to see our little cozy home away from home for the next little while. So that's it.
The before photos.
That's right. We will be checking back in one more week, and we are on the road. See you next time.
Yes.